Glad to have you back, Dave. We were just having some, some connections, some technical connection issues, but
Yeah.
thankfully you're back, and I just want to go through it. So, firstly, author, artist, speaker, and you have top producer of old school pinstriping, hand painted lettering, gold leaves, inscriptions, airbrush imagery on motorcycles, hot rods, guitars, cake mixes, and even top shelf motorhomes. You have quite the resume, sir. So I just wanted to kind of at least give it an attempt to share some of the things that you're doing out there. And you're currently on your second book, may I add. Um, so you're clearly a writer, pretty much the epitome of creativity in a sense. Welcome, Dave. Welcome.
Well,
Welcome
thank
to
you.
the podcast.
I suppose that creativity was inevitable because my mother was an opera singer and my father was, he illustrated flight manuals during World War II. So they were creative. I grew up in a creative household.
Yes.
And as a 16-year-old, I hit the road with my set of drums and on a circus and
Yes.
learned how to travel. Yeah, that was back in the good old days when the big top circuses uh, played one-day stands. We were in a town for one day. The
Yes.
tents went up in the morning. We gave two shows. Then it all came back down and went to the next town. So my creativity started on the,
You saying? Sorry,
which is
just a little glitch right there.
X, not only find interesting ways of
Just the audio alone.
yes, creativity start. Yeah,
Yes,
go
I'm
ahead.
listening. I'm listening.
Yeah, my creativity started around the circus, and there was really no better place for not only my visual efforts, but especially my musical efforts because of the audience that was right there. I got an immediate response to all of the creative uh, things that I was doing as a 16-year-old. And it just continued to evolve.
That's interesting.
The one of the things that I noticed as a musician was at the drums, I would create an entertaining like drum lick to accent the efforts of the performers during the big top show. And as soon as like the show was over, the echoes, the very last echoes of those drum licks would go away and things would quiet down and I'd put the drums away and everything. And it was like those efforts only had a spontaneous lifespan, which made me want to seek another outlet
Yeah,
where
yeah.
my effort would be appreciated for like a longer period of time. And that's where my painting began. I started to paint decorations on the circus trucks and those kinds of things.
You a little bit.
And those creative efforts continued to evolve as I became fascinated with training horses. And okay. And the ongoing spirit of adventure that for book two is just about ready to be published, sake of not only entertaining it seems like it's all a harvest to an audience.
Mm.
Today I have a route of individual way to set my customer's motorcycle apart from all the rest by creating a one-of-a-kind, unique design to enhance an extension of their personality, but it ends up qualifying as a form of visual entertainment.
Yes, I would imagine so. I'm prone to mistrust. My faith grows robust. Thus, you'll have a chance to prove your way up. So there is no doubt that there is no clout. We are real from the tree. We are real from the route. Roots so strong, roots are long like the grapevine, and so our history hangs loud. One day we can laugh at the inconvenience of the unfairness, but for now it maintains like a bad taste in the mouth. And essentially what I really wanted to ask you is just, well, first I wanted to get your thoughts on this to begin with. Any thoughts?
I actually admire poetry, even though I don't credit myself with having a command of what it takes. I think it's actually a very, very difficult art form, condensing with just a few words of thought, a meaning, a message that's wonderful as what is condensed into this. It's not even a paragraph long, and it's very powerful, and it says a lot. It's an art form that I really do admire.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. Which you know, there's a reason behind why I chose it, because I wanted to kind of just go into things alluding towards the journey, especially as a creative as yourself. I thought it was appropriate to kind of introduce something along this line. And I have, because of this, you know, I always have questions. So one of the first things that came to mind I wanted to ask you about is, I saw this quote on your profile, and it says, "The smartest thing I ever did was run away and join the circus." I read this on your profile. I was intrigued. So this was the first question that came to mind to ask. What was the reason behind this thought?
It's really that, definitely. Yeah, the smartest thing I ever did was join the circus. And the reason for that is, as a teenager, in response to what I considered to be a frustrating life situation, I followed a hunch and I launched myself out into the unknown and found myself in the middle of living a life of adventure that was filled with all kinds of opportunity for my creative expression to take place. I began with playing the drums in the circus band, and I had my paintbrushes with me, and I would decorate on the circus trucks and the fleet, and the never-ending stimulation of living a life of adventure, a new town every day, it just stimulated the energies, and I ended up finding my creative momentum, and that has continued throughout my entire career, even though I certainly did evolve from being a circus guy into a horse trainer and an author and a sign painter and a mural artist. And now I have a route of Harley Davidson stores where I decorate motorcycles.
Wow, that's great. That's great.
And it keeps going and going and going. I think that part of that stimulating situation just made my imagination a very, very fertile place for new ideas to take place, definitely. And in regards to poetry, that's an art form that I admire. even though it's not something I credit myself with having a command of. But I certainly love the written word. And today I'm investing part of my day every day. I'm writing. And what I'm doing is I'm combining memories from my interesting life with life lessons that occurred as the result of this turbulent and challenging life, in an effort to provide inspiration for the reader who may very well be going through something very, very similar.
Yes.
And in an effort to offer some hope, to reach out, maybe look at something a little different and grab onto what ends going to end up qualifying as something fun to do, and thereby also live interesting creative life.
Yes, indeed.
Oftentimes we remain cautious because we want things to stay the same. But a life of adventure means that you're constantly stepping into a mystery, something that you're not familiar with at all. And when we adopt that mindset of moving forward away from what we're familiar with, it ends up opening up a whole new scenario, a whole new relationship with the way that you live your life, and a whole new set of thoughts in regards to what it is that's taking place around us, and even possibilities for the future.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yeah. What you said there is one of the best thing about being the type of person that we are. And thank you for your approval of poetry, because poetry is something that's very close to me, and I take it very serious. So it means a lot to know that you appreciate poetry.
Oh yeah.
As much as the other things that you do. It's very important. And some of the things that you said, and the person that you are is one of the main reasons I thought it was very important to kind of have this discussion, because you encapsulate exactly what I'm thinking. The journey, when it goes right and it's beautiful for a creative like ourselves, is one of the reasons why I really wanted to use this piece as a chance to touch on the many ways being an artist and a creative person has enriched someone's life, or your life specifically, in a way we can't see, or the more intangible effects, if you will. I was thinking on this discussions such as this to kind of depict the journey. Did you have anything to kind of maybe mention pertaining to setbacks, comebacks?
Of course, I certainly do, because like you were saying, the journey is part of it, and it's not always going according to plan. There are all kinds of, there are setbacks, there are pitfalls, there are things that happen that interrupt that forward momentum, but the ends up that every one of those setbacks and those obstacles and those hurdles that we had to go over were all designed to provide yet another opportunity to learn and grow and strengthen ourselves, and include a new paradigm for living an interesting life. So it's just, and there's a saying, if it doesn't kill you, it's gonna make you stronger.
Yes.
And that is a perfect a metaphor, I suppose, to accompany you as we discover these things. Because one of the temptations when we discover a huge setback is to feel sorry for ourselves or become separated from the truth. And the truth is that this life that we've been blessed with it's not about it's either good or bad. It's just a blend of good and bad. And what we want to do is to keep moving forward and realize that having a problem occur is usually the result of applying the last solution that we applied from the previous problem. It's like a never-ending series of experiencing a problem, creating a solution, experiencing a problem, creating a solution. And that's really what life is made up of. So what we want to do, and especially what you're discovering, whenever I validated your relationship with poetry, is what we got to do is remain connected to those around us so that we can continue to make progress and occasionally rely on the strength of another person. And then there are other times when we can provide the encouragement to those around us so that we can all make some progress and continue to grow and live and love and experience abundance in health, and especially laughter as we go through this life. I credit myself with being here on the planet to make other people happy. Everything I do, when I create a beautiful piece of artwork, it makes somebody happy. And then there are viewers that see it, that aren't even attached to it, but they see that artwork and it touches their heart on some degree. Same thing with your poetry. And so when we boil it all the way down to the reason for our existence is to make other people happy, it just changes our relationship with the challenges that occur as we go on this road of life, because it's just yet another opportunity for us to translate the challenge into a lesson and then pass that, what we learned, right on to our audience.
Yes.
You know, in my case, I can include it in the next exciting issue of my book or something. Definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're saying I think we're pretty much in alignment with everything that you're saying. I agree so much with everything you said, and I'm also an advocate for being a person that for being at a stage where remembering where I'm coming from in terms of like at one point I was trying to discover how to kind of figure it out to be better for myself, and then I get to another point, which is where I am now, like yourself, where I'm now doing it for other people because I know how to do it for myself, and it's been working great for me, and I would like to kind of share with other people, if only gems alone, where they can kind of do better for themselves through my creations, my creativity, my art, and things that I put out there. It's all in aid to kind of help people to kind of resonate to begin with, and to kind of relate and understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
And they can kind of take away what they will to actually better their life or figure things out when they're in a situation where they need a solution. So perhaps maybe what I'm doing can kind of aid them, and certain things that you pass on, all the gems that you're sharing with people, they can also appreciate and take from that as well.
Yeah.
I would ask, the next question would be like, are there any particular wisdom that you might want to share, or maybe encouragement or things like that, or just like wisdom or gems that you might want to share that comes to mind right now?
Definitely. There is lots of things that I have been blessed with to share with the audience, and that's what keeps propelling me forward. I have been encouraged to write the next book as the result of people who admire my lifestyle. And so I wrote a book. It's sort of like a guidebook called Hit the Road and Thrive. And it has something to do, it's much more than just what it takes to go out on the highway and head towards an unknown place. It has to do with our mental attitude and several other kinds of things. And because there are lots of people who don't know how to escape everyday routine and live an exhilarating way of life filled with success and adventure. And so I have appointed myself as the guide, and I wrote a book to help people out with uncovering the subtle qualities that interfere with their ability to step fearlessly forward into the mystery and the adventure that's certainly available for everybody here. And the book is designed in a way that even if you're never going to get off your couch, you'll still benefit from simply reading it, reading the stories, reading about the concepts. And it's certainly it's a colorful cameo of several of the aspects of my professional traveling creative life. And since I want people to get it, I've actually made it available absolutely free. You can get the ebook Hit the Road and Thrive for free, the download, by going to my author website, which is daveletterfly.com. And it's just my way of being a blessing to the world, because I want people to get benefit. I want to help improve their mindset and their attitudes and their life, and so that and give them a leg up on having an interesting life filled with love and laughter and joy and all those kinds of things. Because I think as I continue to mature, I end up embracing the fact that my mission on this planet is to be a blessing to other people.
That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. And I'm sure I'll definitely also leave a link to this book so people can have access to it. And have like a overall link where they can actually find more of your information or everything, so they can find everything for you. But Dave, man, like, you're doing a great job of everything, and I commend you in what you're doing, especially the amount of things that you have going on. But I understand as well, like, this is the life of somebody that really love what they do, and it's all encapsulated in it's almost like an onion, you know. It's not one person, but it's almost like you're like an onion with so many different skill set, and the onion itself is creativity. And I think that's the best way to kind of describe what you do and your lifestyle, because you do so many things, but it's all encapsulated in the idea of being a creative, or just an umbrella of creativity in a sense. And that's a beautiful thing, man. So I appreciate you for kind of just making so much effort to kind of give back to the world, because I think it's important. And not only the book, because I think, like you said, the book is more of a manual where it's almost like DIY, but I think everything that you're doing in terms of, like, you know, the painting or like the murals, things to do with the bikes as well, and just designs in general, I think that's art. I think when it comes to specifically people like us, artists like us, that can kind of more look to art to kind of just break it down, or just kind of they have their own way of interpreting art. I think those people need an outlet as well, and so it's important that you keep doing what you do and you keep sharing the artwork, because I think it's necessary, I think it's needed, I think it's important. So I appreciate you for that.
Oh, good. Okay.
Dave, we're gonna wrap things up. I think we just I think the connection started to settle for us, and we've been having a good conversation for a while now. I also want to say thanks so much for coming through, and I have to also say it's important that you come back soon, because I really want us to have like a proper conversation without any interruptions or anything like that. But it's been great speaking with you, sir. And is there anything last minute that you'd like to say or share?
Yeah, I certainly would. I want to conclude with commending you not only for expanding on your creative gestures with your passion for poetry, but especially for being a conduit which allows me to become introduced to your audience, because this is part of what we're on the planet for, is to do what we can to benefit those around us. And as long as I keep that service mentality foremost in my mind, I continue to get new ideas, inspiration. My imagination keeps thinking up even more stuff, and that just continues to propel that positive momentum, and quite maybe, possibly, it'll provide some inspiration for somebody who's listening today. And if we can reach just one person and touch their life and have them have that epiphany that makes them reach out and take a fearless step forward in their life, then part of what we have aspired to do today on this broadcast has been accomplished. So I want to thank you for allowing me to touch somebody's life today.
Oh, thanks so much. I appreciate that. And as they say, all you need is a spark, at the end of the day. But you're exactly the type of person I want to keep introducing to the audience, because I think you're rich with so much wisdom, and I think they'll appreciate what you have to share. So.
Oh, good. Well, thank you, my friend. I appreciate that.
Absolutely, sir. And we'll keep in touch, and we'll speak. But thanks so much.
And we'll do it again. Thank you, my friend.
Thanks so much. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.